Foreclosures and home prices, buyer demand and housing availability. In the next few minutes, I'll do my best to cover these all important topics so we can clarify what's happening and what the experts are saying about what the situation is with the housing market right now. Let's start by saying what most experts agreed on. Today's housing market isn't headed for a crash. However, 67% of Americans say a housing market crash is imminent in the next 3 years. And with all the talk in the media lately about shifts in the housing market, it makes sense why so many people feel this way. But there's good news. Current data shows today's market is nothing like it was before the housing crash in 2008. Back then, mortgage standards were less strict. During the lead up to the housing crisis, it was much easier to get a home loan than it is today. Banks were creating artificial demand by lowering lending standards and making it easy for just about anyone to qualify for a home loan or refinance an existing one. As a result, lending institutions took much bigger risks in both the person and the mortgage products they offered. That led to mass defaults, foreclosures, and falling prices as we know it now. Today, things are different and buyers face much higher lending standards from mortgage companies. This graph shows data from the Mortgage Bankers Association. And to help tell this story in this index, the higher the number, the easier it is to get a mortgage. The lower the number, the harder it is. It also shows how different things are today compared to the spiking credit availability leading up to that crash. Tighter lending standards have helped prevent the situation that could lead to a wave of foreclosures like the last time. Foreclosure volume has declined a lot since the crash. Another difference is the number of homeowners that were facing foreclosures when the housing bubble burst. Foreclosure activity has been lower since the crash, largely because buyers today are more qualified and less likely to default on their loans. The graph also shows the difference between last time and now. As you can see, even as foreclosures went up following the pandemic, the total number is still very low, and most experts do not expect foreclosures to go up drastically like it did following the crash in 2008. And part of it is because of the massive underbuilding of homes and lack of supply, which brings us to the next topic. The supply of homes for sale today is more limited. For historical context, there were too many homes for sale during the housing crash, many of which were short sales and foreclosures, and that caused prices to drop dramatically. Supply has increased slightly since the start of this year, but there's still a shortage of homes for sale overall, primarily due to years of underbuilding. This graph also shows that the National Association of Realtors months supply of homes available now compared to the crash, and today unsold inventory sits at 2.7 months at the current sales pace, which is significantly lower than the last time. There just isn't enough inventory of homes on the market for home prices to come crashing down like they did back then. Now, this graph, as you can see, shows that. You might be thinking now, what's happening with home prices if there's not enough inventory? Well, the recent changes in home prices are top of mind for many as the housing market begins gearing up into the spring. It can be hard to navigate the headlines and confusing data. But here is what you should know about today's home prices. Local price trends vary by market, but looking at national statistics and the economists from the Federal Housing Finance Agency say U.S. house prices are largely unchanged for the last 4 months and remain near peak levels reached over the summer of 2022. While higher mortgage rates have suppressed demand, low inventory of homes have helped keep the price steadily, practically flat. Today's home prices aren't in a free fall at all. What does this mean for you? If you currently own your house, you might be concerned about even the slightest decline in prices. We want to keep every dollar we can. But keep in mind how much home values grew over the last few years. Compared to that growth, any declines seen nationally are likely to be very minimal. Also, it's important to remember every local market is different. In fact, we're starting to see some cases where homes are selling with multiple offers again in our market. So if you or anyone you know is in the market to make a move, feel free to reply to this email, text, or call us for a confidential and free consultation. Okay? The bottom line is you need to understand what's going on with home prices today and how they could impact your goals. So let's connect today to plan accordingly. Thank you. If you like this content, feel free to share it and subscribe. Thank you.